Okay, so question, fellow Americans. What does a journalist, single mom, senior citizens, single moms with kids, senior citizens, mostly women, elderly women over the age of 50, how about that? Veterans and working people who work at places like Walmart who get minimum wage have in common? Well, these are the people who are without homes these days. 3 million Americans. Of course, you are told that they're lazy moochers, crazy drug addicts, alcoholics, and so on and so forth. But the truth is, the middle class has been decimated, and 48% of seniors in America, 56% in California, 55% in Hawaii, are living in poverty and cannot afford housing. Most metro cities, such as Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and so on, regular everyday people, cannot afford housing. And the powers that be are not doing much about it but criminalizing people. And so what happens is, when you criminalize people, do you think that makes it better or worse? Obviously, it makes it worse. In Salinas, California, they just passed an ordinance to the tune of $250,000 to take away people's possessions and charge them a fee. Now, if you have barely nothing, and most people without homes have barely nothing, do you think really they're going to be able to afford getting their possessions, what little possessions they have, back? And what might be a better use of that $250,000 of taxpayer money? Gee, maybe some homes, like tiny homes on wheels, might be a better use of that. In Monterey last year or 2 years ago, they passed a ban on sitting and lying down in public. 33 to 50, I've seen various statistics, but between 33 and 50 cities have a ban on feeding people in public in America, and so on and so forth. So, and most cities have a ban on camping or parking overnight. So the plan is basically to deny that people exist and or drive them away. Well, if you have no way to go anywhere and you can't afford housing, where are you going to go? Number one. And what would you do if this was happening to your grandma or your mother or your aunt or your sister or your daughter? And did you know that you as a taxpayer are paying 3 times more per person per year to not house people without homes? So there's a 9-year-old girl up in Washington State who's actually building tiny homes and giving them away to people. There's a guy in Los Angeles who's doing something similar. There are people all across the nation, from Washington, Oregon, Michigan, New York, different places, the state of Utah, are either building low-income apartments and giving them to people without homes, and or building tiny home villages for people without homes. And there are rules and regulations, and not everybody can get in on this. And there's not that many. The resources are few and far between. But considering that the low-income housing and affordable housing is pitiful in our country, and getting worse by the day, at least some people are trying to come up with creative solutions to help people. So, just an idea that I have is to pair up people, some with means, some without means, and to create tiny homes for senior women. Because women over 50 are vulnerable and need homes. They have health issues. They're easy prey for predators. Most women, period, the reason they become homeless is because of domestic violence against them. So, I would really strongly suggest that you go to my Facebook page. Well, I have several, but one is called Peace of Mind Tiny Homes for Elderly Women. I really need some help on creating these homes because I've never built a bird cage, never mind a dog house, never mind a tiny home. And I'm without a home myself right now. And I'm getting sicker and sicker. I had breast cancer surgery as well as 2 blood clots on my lungs and so on. My legs get very swollen, etc., etc., etc. I won't go into all the gory details. But this is a very sorry state of our nation. And I'm just asking people to step up and to help with helping their neighbors. And I would love to hear back from people who care, because I know they're out there. So, thank you very much.